to our April 9th work session.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
All members are present except for Mr. McCarthy, who is recovering from some minor surgery, so he will not be joining us this morning.
Come.
And Lynn's working the temperature control.
See how well these work? We go half the price on them. We save you guys money. This is the comedy before the movie. Sure.
There you go. Okay, I will start off. I do have a letter of correspondence here that I want to give to Mr. Lohman. This is a letter by a resident who's has a complaint about speeding traffic on 25A between Plymouth Boulevard and 25A by the Bull. So I would ask you if you could kindly call your contacts in the precinct, see if we can have them assist us in taking a look at some of that.
Okay.
And then we could advise that resident as well. She said it's constant, and she thought maybe we could assist with the 4th precinct getting some enforcement there.
That'll tie in a little bit later to what I have here as far as the Suffolk County PD liaison. We'll talk a little bit about that.
Okay, excellent. The 2 parcels in Kings Park that we had appraised, Mr. Attorney, we're waiting, am I correct in saying that the owner is on vacation?
Yeah,
So-
waiting to hear back from them.
Okay, come on up here, Matt. All right, so when he gets back, we're gonna continue some negotiations with him, correct?
Correct.
Okay. We also have, we're going to hold off on the bid award for the water mains by Alessio Pipe until the next board meeting. Reason for that is I'm going to be meeting with the county executive to discuss the possibility of some funding for the dry force main for the sewering. Don't know if that's going to happen, but I want to meet with him first. So we'll hold off on that bid. In the event that there is some funding available for that project, then we can go back out and bid both of those. In the interim, we have H2M Engineering and Architects coming up with a price for that force main and laying out a sewer district map for the downtown business district for St. James. So we'll hold off on, we advised Chris Newstead, we're just going to hold off on that bid, and then if in fact we come up with funding, we'll bid everything out at one time so that we have the whole project in hand. If not, if there isn't funding, then we have to have a discussion on how we want to move forward with that. So that takes care of that. Is Mr. Rico here? He is. I'm going to have Mr. Rico come up. Mr. Rico, do you want to come up, our Parks Director? He has some information. I want him to just appraise the board on where we stand with the number of projects, so the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, Supervisor. The Gaynor Park, Gibbs Pond Park, and Mauritius Road projects are all underway. Gibbs Pond is getting the resurfacing of the tennis courts, and we're moving along with that, as long as the basketball courts as well. All 3 projects are going to be projected to come in under our budget numbers there, so we feel confident in that moving forward. Mauritius, we are working on the playground now. That will be delivered soon, and we're also going to be doing the water park surface there as well. And the Gaynor Park, as I said, is underway, and that is about 80% done. The situation with Belmead as it stands right now, I spoke to the controller, and we're going to be closing out some capital projects to meet our shortfall that we had on the original capital loan. There was some extra work we did there in order to make the job look 100% complete and do the proper job. So we're going to be closing out some projects and going over the loan numbers there with the controller. And that's it at this point.
Okay, so we're under budget on the 3 playgrounds in the capital,
Yes, sir.
and we're closing out capital accounts, so there is enough funding to accomplish the repaving and reconstruction of the Belmead Municipal Park.
That's exactly right.
Okay, very
Okay,
good.
thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Mr. Rico. Did all of you receive this letter about a request for a blues festival?
Yes.
No. Blues?
Yeah, blues festival in September at Long Beach.
That sounds familiar, yeah.
Okay, I think what we'll do with that, just want to make sure, if you didn't get it, Lynn, we'll make sure you get it. That's something I think we should talk to our public safety people. We have to come up with some kind of cost factor if we even want to entertain that. So before we respond to anybody, we should collectively have discussions about how we would want to do that. Yeah.
Thank you.
He's promoted these types of events in other municipalities. They seem to be wildly successful, just what they're looking to do here. We'd have to obviously work with Nessequag, the Incorporated Village, and their PD, because we do share some commonality there.
Right. I think it may very well be a good idea. I just want to make sure we all have the discussion with all the pertinent departments and the village as well. And then we can come to a conclusion on that, but it might be something that will be great for the residents.
I think so too.
Yeah. Right?
I think
Okay, so-
these things go over very big with the residents.
No, they do, I agree. I think it's something that hopefully we can make it happen. I think it's a
And
good
public
idea.
safety is usually excellent at these things.
Yeah. I do want to just take the opportunity as well to thank the council here for yesterday's event on the dedication of the street for the 4 girls that we lost in that tragic accident. I commend everybody, including Mr. Crowley, who just walked in here from traffic safety. I know that the families are very, very pleased with the way things went. I think it was a great dedication for them, so congratulations to all of us for that. That's all I have, other than executive session matters, which are litigation and attorney-client privilege, so.
I have a few things to discuss, but after talking to the town attorneys, turn into an executive session.
Okay. Ms. Noack,
Yeah, I'm good.
you good? Mr. Loman?
No, I just have just a couple of things. The first was with regards to the Suffolk County Police Department. They have a new captain who we've all met, or should have met by now, Kevin Williams, and he is our official liaison to the town of Smithtown and anything that is going on back and forth. And one of the things that I asked him if he'd be willing to do, and he is to come here once a month and present to the board and any of the town residents that watch it or want to come, that an overview of what's going on in our town, the problem areas that they have, issues that are ongoing that they're addressing. I know the big thing is with the massage parlors that they have here and some of these vape shops now and things that they're doing there. They do work very closely with John Valentine and his department, which is a great thing, and obviously that's going to continue to go forward. But there's other things that he would like us to start working with him a little bit more, such as we had the run this past Sunday at the high school for the 4 young ladies. And one of the things that we talked about, and I spoke with Nicole about this, is on our website, there's the potential to put a lot more information out there specific to these types of events. Special events is what I'll call them, where in addition to we getting it and having our meetings and putting it forward there, have it on a website where anybody can go on and click on it and see what's going on at any given date and time, and with this specifically to the road closings. And that's where the police department has been getting quite a bit of pushback on some of these, like the St. Patty's Day
Right.
run, where people are upset that their roads are closed. Well, we try and accommodate people here, and especially tax-paying people here. So the other thing that we could do to just give them a little bit more advance notice is, once this is done, it's posted, we take that information, we put it on our website, and I told Nicole that I would help come up with some eyes to do that, kind of put a banner where it's dropped down. And the same thing, my recommendation would be, which ties into the other thing that was talking about the town website, when we have some of these big projects ongoing, capital projects, sort of like, Mr. Rico was just talking about the parks, what we're doing, put that out there on our website so they can see real time where we stand. So those are the things that I think that, it's important that we put out. The other thing that I wanted to speak about and talk about was in identifying the town's assets and looking for better ways to streamline our government. And it actually came about with the Smithtown United Group and doing the assessments of some of our outlying buildings, specific to the properties on the south side of Main Street, our planning, our building department over here. I would like to make the recommendation that we get appraisals for those properties for an understanding of what they're actually worth. So if we're looking to do some kind of consolidation, a campus-type setting, that we have at least an understanding of the value, take that into cost consideration, that if we are gonna build something, what would we get from that? So that's something that I wanted to bring to the board to see, you know, if you're all in agreement with that, something that we would consider doing.
I think it's a good idea. Could you get us some kind of rough estimates from our appraisal companies on what it would, what they would want to appraise those? It'd probably be 40 Maple, 124 Building and Planning, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Could you do that?
Absolutely.
Thank you. And then we'll work it from there. We'll talk to the comptroller about the budgeting, and I think it's a good idea.
Okay. And the last thing they have, it's with personnel, and it's, you know, for
Executive?
executive session, yes.
On Captain Williams, Tom, we could, if we have any issues ahead of time, I'd like to recommend we go through you with those issues so that he has time to research it if we have questions about any specific issue.
Yes.
And then this way, when he does come, maybe he can answer those questions as well.
Yeah, he's more than happy to do that. Harold Jansen's the inspector there. They're looking forward to working a little bit more closely, so you know,
Good.
we
He
have
wants
this
to come-
opportunity.
He wants to come once a month.
Yep. he'd
Okay,
like to,
so
yes.
let's put that in play. It's a great idea that he comes in and
Okay.
and gives us the information we need.
I'm thinking with that appraisal too, if we had those buildings, they go back on the tax rolls too, right?
Correct.
Former tax receiver.
You have the experience, so you know.
There you go.
Good. We're all for putting them back on the tax rolls. Everybody good?
That's it.
Okay, thank you. I move to go into executive session.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. I move to close the executive session.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I move to close the work session for today.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much.